Just a few different notes in regards to the tax digest. These are county-wide estimates. So these are just estimates. We still have a little bit of work to do. Of course, April 1st is a big day in property tax arena. It's the deadline for filing property tax returns. So most of our personal property returns come in a day or two before April 1st. Additionally, residential, as you saw there, they will mail on May 2nd. They're still working through a good bit of their work. So these are estimates countywide, same formula that we've used in arriving at our projections in the past. Nothing has changed in regards to that. This does not include motor vehicles, mobile homes, public utilities. It's just property tax digest, not other avenues that make up the tax digest. Remember that everything on the sheet, and we're going to get some sheets passed out to you in a minute, 40% values is what the assessed value is, 40% of the fair market value. Just keep that in mind. Also, this does not account for any exemptions, floating homestead, Freeport, any other exemptions that might exist out there, the smaller ones. This projection does not include that. This is a total tax digest projection. Again, this is the same formula we've been using for years. So we are looking at an increase of 5.5% on the property tax digest from the digest that was submitted last year to the digest that we will submit this year. 5.5%. So that's good. That means Cobb County is doing well residentially. It's doing well commercially. We're getting more businesses. Our property tax digest for personal property should be higher than what it was last year. These are all positive signs that the real estate market in Cobb County continues to thrive very well. So let's talk a little bit about that in terms of residential and how we arrive at that. Some things that are going on in Cobb County that help to make the tax digest go up. So this is a pretty interesting slide, I think. Our average sales price is now over $300,000. To me, that's pretty telling. The average sale price of a home in Cobb County is over $300,000. During the recession, we were below $200,000 when we were dealing with the recession. So it's quite a jump over the past few years. Again, Cobb County is a desirable place, good schools, stable government. Interest rates are making it, even though they've come up a little bit, still making it fairly affordable for people to get a mortgage and go through the home buying process. Here's another interesting number that we got. Matt gave me this. Before the recession, we had 1,000 parcels valued at $1 million. Now we have 2,000. Residential parcels over $1 million. 2,000. Now that could also include development land, large acreage tracts, but most of that is homes. So we've got 2,000 homes that are valued at over $1 million. A lot of positive things going on, pushing up prices in the area. Here's another thing. You know, for years I've come to this meeting and said, we're running out of room, there won't be any more new construction, at some point it's going to die off. But look at the last 10 years. The number continues to go up. And we were looking a little bit further at residential's digest, and a lot of that comes from new lots being created with homes being put on them. And if you think about it, as you drive around, you don't see a lot of signs that say homes starting from the 200,000s, from the 3. That doesn't happen. And you know the number that they put on the sign is barely the house that is in there, right? If they say 500,000, they're really meaning 599, right? So the new homes that are being put up, higher prices on the new homes, that all is having an effect on the residential real estate market. We've got expensive housing in Cobb County. And I know that there's a separate issue that we're trying to deal with in regards to affordable housing, but the residential prices are climbing because people want to live here. Location, location, location. People want to be in Cobb County. Let's take a little bit about, talk just a little bit about the stadium area. We talked about this last year. Probably the point that I would drive home about the stadium area is for 2019. You'll notice that we're looking at a value of about $558 million. Now that's fair market value for the personal property and the commercial in the Battery area. $558 million. Last year was $555 million. Now why is it just a little bit up? Well, one, they didn't have a whole lot of new things come online during calendar year 2018. And two, last year they had $153 million in personal property on that Battery, that area. The stadium, the restaurants, that's not just the Braves number. That'd be all the personal property in there that's owned by the people who own and run those businesses. the Omni and all that. Personal property depreciates, so that number's come down a little bit. We anticipate. Most of those returns are not in yet. Probably we'll see some more growth out of this next year when that hotel and the theater and that piece that's there in the front, when that starts to go online. But for this year, just a minimal increase at the battery and the stadium and all that. So we will have a better idea once personal property returns come in, but not a whole lot of change in the real estate there on the stadium piece. So here's a good look at our graph. We've updated this every year, and I think it's very telling how far we've come. Maybe next year when we're standing here, we'll be at $40 billion on the property tax digest, which is hard to believe because we were down at 25 during the recession. So $40 billion we could be at next year when we're standing here. Big numbers. Everybody always likes this cartoon, so we'll leave it up until you guys get sick of it. But does anybody have any questions? I know, you know, I thought about it earlier. I should just send you a number, right, on an email. Just one number. You don't want to listen to all that. Here's the number. Have a great day. But we want to get you out of your office for a while. So if you have any questions, please feel free to come up, give me a... Yes, Lynn?
What more can you tell us about the projected 5.5% projected increase related to commercial and residential?
The ratio will be on that sheet. So I know a lot of you want to know, it's important to know the residential versus the commercial, obviously for the CIDs, but also for the cities and the county because of the homestead float. So the ratio is on there as far as increase. I will tell you commercial is down a little bit in terms of the increase, Lynn, from last year. Last year you had a very large increase in commercial. That's down, the amount of increase is down a little bit from last year. And that's a culmination of a lot of properties coming off appeal and needing to be revalued. That's part of it. Next year, we will have a countywide commercial revaluation. Now that used to be a huge ordeal, but that's lessening because the way that the Department of Audits looks at our office, we really have to maintain close to fair market value on all property classes every year. So even in our off years, we really need to revalue more and more. It used to be we wouldn't really touch a whole lot of commercial except that third year when we did the countywide commercial reval. It will certainly be up next year, more than it was probably this year because we're doing a countywide commercial reval. Excuse me. But I would anticipate you'll see a larger increase than you would this year. And the amount of increase this year on the commercial side is a little bit less than the amount of increase it was last year. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does, very much. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Have a great day. I'll be up here if you need anything.